Welcome to Hooked and Roadbound, the badass Gypsiez fishing and Jeepin podcast. Today we are talking about fishing because it's kind of cold outside. It's about 36 degrees and not very conducive to fishing unless it's ice fishing on the coast of Texas, and we don't have any ice. But we're going to talk about winter reds, mastering red fishing on the Texas coast. Redfish fishing is cold water, but hot bites right now. Now, I'm by no means a redfish expert. I've only been fishing for about 4 weeks. And by fishing, I mean kayak fishing because I got a kayak and I started fishing about 4 weeks ago and I fell in love and I'm obsessed with it. So I'm learning everything from the ground up because I'm a Missouri girl and I only did freshwater fishing until 4 weeks ago. I mean, I played with it a little bit, but now I'm getting into it and I'm studying it every day. And just before I went on the podcast, I was looking at the lighthouse lakes and all the geographic information on there to go fishing there this weekend. So, welcome to the Hooked and Roadbound podcast. February might be chilly, but the redfish are still hungry. And if you know where to find them, you can have amazing fishing days when it's sunny and not breezy out. I mean, you might want to go fishing on a day like today, but not me. I want to stay inside and do some busy work. But today we're talking about redfish. Redfish fishing on the coastal bend of Texas, where to catch them, where to look for them, and the biggest mistake that fishermen or anglers can make, and how the high tides and the temperatures can affect the game of redfish fishing. So, redfish behavior and where to find them. Redfish slow down in the wintertime, but they don't stop eating. So, where do you go in the winter? Well, some key places to go are mud flats, deeper channels, back lakes, and warm water outflows. So, some structures to look for are oyster beds. When the sun comes out, the oyster beds will heat up, and redfish like to hang out there. Docks are another place that redfish like to hang out around. And also drop offs. This has really been the key to how I've caught hundreds of redfish in the last 4 weeks. Is I go where water is moving and there's drop offs in the water. And I use Salt Strong to figure out where the drop offs are in the water. And that's like I said, I was studying Lighthouse Lakes over in Port Aransas for a fishing trip this weekend. I want to know where that deep water, where that shallow water drops off. Oyster beds, those have been working tremendously. I've been fishing a couple of times this week because it was 80 degrees yesterday. It was 70 degrees the day before. Saturday, it was about 75 and partially sunny. It's been amazing. Now, how do you catch the redfish in February in the coastal areas? Bait versus lures. Now, I've used both baits and lures. Now, I've used dead bait. Um, But what works best? Live bait, shrimp, mullet, or cut bait? I've used cut bait. Shrimp specifically is what I've been using. And I've caught redfish, trout. My husband's caught flounder. And also the other day, I caught a stingray. Yeah, totally freaked out because the only thing I really know about a stingray when you're fishing is Steve Irwin and how that ended for him. So I actually screamed for the first time while I was fishing out of fear because when I pulled it out of the water, I was like, what in the world is that? And it was a stingray. So some lures to use are slow rolling paddle tails, scented soft plastics, and suspending twitch baits. Now, I've used all of those within the last month fishing for redfish. And what's worked best for me is the Shrimpery by Studio 54. I don't think it's Studio 54. It's something 54, but when I read it, it goes to Studio 54. And it's a little shrimpettes. I've used the chartreuse tail. I've used the purple tail. I've used the black tail. I've used the pink shrimperies. They've all worked. The indigo shrimperies, they've all worked on catching redfish this year or in February. And I caught a 22-inch redfish last weekend, and that was on a shrimp red. I also caught a 20-inch one on some cut bait shrimp. So there's lots of things that are catching shrimp right or catching your redfish right now. You've just got to kind of try it. Sometimes the chartreuse one works, sometimes the indigo one works, sometimes the black one. So if you're going an hour on getting no bites, it's time to definitely switch it up. So lures have been working tremendously well. Cut bait has worked for me. Now you do have to have a slower presentation. The fish, it's February. The water temperature is in the 50s and 60s here in South Texas. So the fish are cold and sluggish. So slow down your retrieval when you're using lures. Now the time of day, I've went morning, noon, and afternoon to go redfish fishing. My mornings have been definitely better than my afternoons. But if you look online, warmer afternoons is when the fish are more active. Now, the afternoon that I went, it was a colder afternoon. So maybe that's why I caught a stingray and a crab and no redfish. So time of day is important. Now, I like to get up early and go first thing in the morning and be done about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Now, there are rods and reels specifically for winter reds. I just use my regular rod and reel and I adjust it. Now, the biggest mistakes that you can make in February is fishing too fast. Cold water means slow moving fish. Keep that in mind. Also, ignoring the tides. If the tide is too low, reds are not going to be there. And our tide has been tremendously low in January and February in the coastal Bend area. And you have to watch your tides. I was in Lighthouse Lakes a couple of weeks ago, and it was like somebody pulled the bathtub plug out and the tide just went swooshing out of where I was. Now, thank God I was on the edge of Lighthouse Lakes and not way back in there because I would have had to carry my 90-pound sup kayak paddle kayak out. That would have been almost impossible. So that's something you really have to pay attention to on the coast is your tides. And that I have an app on my phone. I also pay attention to the winds. I don't like kayak fishing over 10-mile-per-hour winds. And I don't like doing it if it's 60 degrees or below. It just is almost a miserable experience for me. Now, my husband, he would fish no matter what daytime. He doesn't care. He would fish no matter what, but I do have my fishing standards just because I like to enjoy why I am out there. Now, downsizing your bait. Smaller cut bait pieces work better in February. Smaller baits work better in colder water. Keep that in mind. That's probably why my shrimperies are working so well right now, is because they are the smaller ones. My bigger ones, I haven't gotten anything. The bigger shrimp from 54, I haven't gotten anything on those. It's because after researching and doing some research on this, they like the smaller baits. They're going slower. And sometimes I get reeling in real fast. I need to slow down when I'm doing that. Not adjusting to water clarity. Water clarity is really important with the baits that you use. Now, use brighter lures in the murkier water, which this weekend when I went fishing, it was murkier because it was windy and there was a lot of seaweed in the water. So use natural colors when you have the clearer water. Now, the tides are important and the cooler water temps. And this is how they actually affect the redfish. What tides do the redfish move the most? Now, incoming tides, that's when the bait fishes are on the move and the reds will follow. That's when your predator fish are going after your bait fish, is that incoming tide. Also, in the outgoing tide, that's when your reds move to the deeper areas. So, how does a cold front affect when your reds are coming in? They will bite pre front and post front, not necessarily during the front, like 39 degrees. Not going to catch many fish out there today because they're going to be in the deeper water, especially because I usually fish where it's shallow. It's usually 2 or 3 feet deep where I'm at right now, if I'm lucky. So that's something to keep in mind. Try to find those warm zones where the sun warms the flats, those deep, muddy bottom areas, and the power plant outflows really work well. Now, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. We talked about where to find the redfish in February, how to catch them in February, and some big mistakes to avoid. I'm going to share with you one of my biggest mistakes the first week of February. I did not check the tide. So I go fishing on Redfish Bay in Aransas Pass, Texas. I paddle out on it's a paddle supboard, and I'll do a podcast on my pedal kayak supboard that I'm using for redfish fishing in the near future. So I paddle out, no problem, using my pedals, no problem. I decided instead of going back the way that I came, I would go around the island in Redfish Bay and come back that way. Well, I didn't think about the tide being out at the time. And the water went from about 2 feet deep to a quarter of an inch deep. I had to carry my 90-pound kayak full of fishing gear and knee-high boots, water boots, for about a quarter of a mile. That was not the funnest fishing trip I've ever been on. And I probably won't fish over in that area unless we have high tide ever again, because the mud was up to above my knees. I almost lost my boots a few times. Yeah, it was a learning experience for me and my hubby. So always be prepared. Always check your tides. And if you think, oh, I'm going to just go a little ways and see if it opens up, it's probably better just to turn around and walk that 10 feet instead of having to walk a quarter of a mile carrying pulling along a 90-pound kayak. It was just miserable. So, but I went on after that and we caught 33 reds. So it ended up being a good fishing day, but it was really a learning example for me. Now, here's the listener challenge for you guys. Get out there and try these tips. Post your pics and your catch pics and tag us at Badass Jeep Gypsies on Facebook and TikTok. Now, our next episode, maybe we'll talk about some other tactics for flounder or springtime trout fishing, because I'm going to talk about the Grand Slam coming up. And also, I'm going to talk about redfish. That's going to be primarily what we talk about, but I also love to fish for other things. Maybe I'll do, fishing for stingrays, or this summer I'd like to fish for sharks. So we'll talk about some different things. If there's something you guys would like me to research and have on our podcast, just let me know. Comment below what you would like to hear, because it is fixing to be an amazing 2025 fishing season. And it's not just for spring and summer. You can fish 24/7 almost on the coast of Texas, except for this is our third cold snap of the year. So stay tuned. Now get out there and let's get some winter reds. Thanks for joining us.